Hello, this is Too Stubborn to Quit, a podcast made for women who aren't slowing down, staying quiet, or fading into the background. We're here for the bold, the curious, and the women who know that their best chapters are still ahead of them. So get your coffee or your car keys because we're getting ready to hit the road and you get to come along for the ride. Let's go! Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm good, Miss Pam. How are you?
I'm great. Happy 2 weeks till Christmas. 2
Yeah.
weeks? 2 weeks.
It does
Three
roll
weeks.
along pretty quickly, doesn't it? Hi.
3 weeks until this stupid year's over.
Hey, well, it's been a long year, that's for sure.
Has indeed.
It's been a very long year. So what have you been doing to keep yourself busy these days? I know.
Oh my goodness. So, the whole work thing's starting to get in the way a little bit. But other than the work thing, I got those 5 silly grandchildren, all of whom, except for Ben. Ben doesn't sing yet because he's not in school, but everybody had Christmas programs this week. And so we've had 3 Christmas programs to go to. And those little kids are flipping adorable. They're very cute.
They are. You know what? Those days go by so quick.
Yeah.
They're grown-ups before you know it.
They are.
And so enjoy whatever time you can get going to their Christmas programs and whatever other school projects they have. Our kids are all grown and all we have are the memories. The only thing I have for Steph is I have a CD. Now I have to run around if I want. It's not even a CD. It's one of those tapes. What are they called?
VHS tape?
VCR tape.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that tells you how old my daughter is.
Yeah.
I'm sure she appreciates that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're okay. Gonna go lay down.
Yeah, they're very cute. And it makes it doubly fun for me because Rick's a band director and he's the music director for the elementary school. And he did 15 years as a high school director and he was badass. He was great. We loved watching him. But now that he's with the little kids, he's having a blast. He's having so much fun. There's just not the pressure that there used to be for him. And so he's having a good time. So it's fun to watch him work. It's fun to watch my kids. My Rosie had her very, very, very first band concert this week at the Christmas concert. And there she was. Mimi was a very proud Mimi watching her little girl play trumpet. It was flippin' awesome. It's like 3rd generation trumpet player. Yes.
Well, that's really cool.
It was.
So let's jump into tonight's topic.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we are. We're in our 60s. And I don't know about you, but I feel like we're still running full bore.
I know I am.
So tonight's topic is, how do you maintain what you have to do? And at the same time, you kind of have to readjust your speed, your program, because this says, I got this. And the rest of this is saying, bitch, I'm out to lunch. I'm taking a nap.
Speaking of that, about 2:30 in the afternoon, I just really want to lay down and take a nap every day, every single day. That whole 2:30 thing, it would be a perfect time to just curl up for a half hour and snore. Yeah, every day. But I don't. I don't get to.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm usually driving somewhere.
If we only lived in Italy or Spain or someplace that allows a siesta without getting fired,
Sorry about that. See, it made me sleepy already.
Yeah, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm just going to go take. Jill tells me if she's on the road, and we have trackers on our phone, so we can see where people are stopping and starting. Where they are. We like to tell the new drivers. It's so that we know where to look for the body if you don't show up where you're supposed to be.
Right.
But anyhow, she'll be driving along, and all of a sudden she goes off the radar, and she's like, "Oh, I stopped and took a nap." She takes these 20-minute naps. I can't do this because when I tell you that I'm taking a nap, I'll be back in a year. I'm out. I'm out for like 6 hours, And she's like, "That's not a nap." I'm like,
That's
There's no
sleep.
napping with me.
That's just
Yeah, I'm
sleep.
down. I'm down for the count. I sleep like if there's times that I go to bed, I can. Well, yesterday, I'm in Florida. Most people are like, "Yeah, I'm in Florida." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in Florida. It's quiet. I don't have any animals." I went to bed. I slept
Ah,
for 4 hours. I took
wow.
a nap 4 hours.
When I used to
Had to
have,
do it.
I used to get an hour lunch a long time ago. And that I would go, there's a cemetery right behind my office. I would take my car up to the top of the cemetery because ain't nobody
Sleep in the
bugging me.
cemetery.
Yeah,
You,
cemetery. Nobody's
are you
gonna bug me
practicing
up there.
or what?
What?
What are you practicing? Are you
No, there's
practicing?
nobody gonna bug me up there. It's only a half a block from the office. And so I would go up there and set the alarm on my phone and I'd take a 20-minute nap. It was very, very nice, actually. Very quiet. Very quiet.
Nobody's
Sleeping
going
in
to
the
bother you.
graveyard.
And let's say if anything knocks on your window, you have something to worry about.
It's daylight. They ain't coming out. I used to walk through there all the time. The only thing I ever saw in that graveyard was a bobcat, and he was about a half a foot from me. No lie. And
Oh,
he
wow.
wouldn't move. He wouldn't move. I decided to move because, well, he's a bobcat. And you're standing there
He's saying
staring
you're
at
just
me.
not supposed to be here yet. That's what
Well,
he's telling you. You're not supposed to be here yet.
it was kind of creepy because, wouldn't you figure a wild animal would run from you? No, 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 not that bobcat. He's standing there staring
Oh,
at me, and he's literally, I could have reached out and touched him. I was like,
wow.
this probably isn't good. I'm going to walk away from this very large cat that could probably tear my leg off. Toodles.
Run. Yeah.
Toodles. Bye bye, Bob. Anyway,
All right. So here you are. You're like, with your 5 grandkids and work, podcast, you're going caroling. So you told me. I
yeah,
mean, where do you find the energy? I'm like, I'm happy to get to my house tomorrow night to get back in and go again. I don't know
sure,
where you get
Linda.
the energy. I'm like, yeah,
Because I still have to make cookies yet too. It's that time of the
yeah,
year, and it's why I always look forward to New Year's Day, because all the parties, all the people, all the everything, all the obligations over. I can just sit there on New Year's Day, watch Twilight Zone,
yeah.
and do nothing. It's really
And
nice.
Twilight and just zone,
Yeah, and zone. Yeah, it's
just
kind of
zone.
cool. But and the thing is, so you know this. I mean, I have two adult children, but when they were little, they're both December babies. Mikey just had his
Mm,
birthday. He just turned 36 this past Monday. But Rick's going to be 41 on Christmas Day. And of course, my mom's birthday was Christmas Day. And my in-laws' anniversary was the
that's right.
23rd of December. So it was always a pretty big month for us. And
You're
and I
supposed to stretch that out.
how about it?
Stretch
Yeah,
that
but
out.
but
Seriously.
since it's always been such a big month, it just feels like I don't know. I'm kind of on autopilot. And I know what I have to do on this week and this week and this week and this week until it's all done. And then on Christmas Day, so and and trust me when I tell you that I know that it's only me who is pushing this to happen. Trust me. So I don't need that lecture. I already know. But on, on Christmas
Did you
Day,
think I was giving you a lecture? Did you see it coming?
I did. On Christmas Day, since it's Rick's birthday and he has a much larger house than me, he invites a lot of people. And
Okay.
last year, I think we had 32 there. And everyone brings something. I mean,
Okay.
it's a non-traditional. We don't do it like we used to years ago. So I
Good.
do I do a bunch of crock pot food, stick it out there and people can come and go as they please. And then instead of doing a gift exchange, we We have
Yeah.
what we call a white elephant gift. So it's a gag gift exchange. Everybody brings something with no one else in mind. Just bring something, wrap it up pretty. It can be as goofy as hell or something nice. It's all up to you. And then we make papers with numbers on, and everyone picks their number out of the hat, and whoever gets to go first can pick the first gift. And then anybody sitting around that hasn't picked yet sees that first gift and they like it, they can steal it. And then the first person can pick again. That's kind of how we do it. And
That's cool.
we have laughed so hard over that silly ass game over the years. We had this one DVD. It was called Detonator. And you'd think it would have been a really good movie. It had Pierce Brosnan, like James Bond, and
Yeah.
and Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek. Those two
Yep.
were the stars of the movie. Now you'd think with a cast like that, it would be good. It was probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. So, a number of years ago, I wrapped it up and put it in the white elephant gift, right? And so one of the guys got it and said, "Oh, this looks like a wonderful movie." And I said, "It is. You should watch it." Well, guess what? It came back the second year, and then the third
Is it
year,
still going
and
around?
then the fourth year. It's been going around for probably 10 years now. And so it'll be interesting to see who gets Detonator this year. It's what we always say. It's pretty funny. And they've come
That's
up with some really creative ways to wrap it so that you don't know it's a DVD. It's been fun. So that's what I do
That's
on
actually kind
Christmas.
of cool.
And then the next day, this year we're having it on the 26th. We get together here at my house and so that we can do the gift exchange with the grandkids because it's
You're going
just
to do
easy.
Boxing Day.
We are going to do Boxing Day. Um,
Sunday.
Boxing Day. But that's the day we're all going to get together and probably eat the leftovers from Rick's house from the day before, and then we'll exchange just our little family gifts here. So,
Nice.
so and then the
That's
next day I'm going to
sounds like it.
do nothing.
There you go.
Maybe. I don't
Well,
know. I have to clean up. And then I have to work still too. So I used to take the week off between Christmas and New Year's, but Christmas is on a Thursday and we'll probably get out early on Wednesday and I just couldn't see burning the leaves, so I'll work.
take Friday off. Yeah.
I have both of those Fridays off. One of them's my regularly scheduled Friday off and the other one I took off, so
Nice. Nice. So
yeah.
do you delegate any of this to anybody else or do you just do it yourself?
Yeah, it's all me. I have
Well, what about
opened it
making
up.
cookies? Now, wait a second. Now, you said you have cookies to make. You have grandkids. Do they not make the cookies?
They like to eat the cookies. And when I
Well,
have them,
now it's time for them to. You have to teach them how to make them.
I have, and we do. And they've kind of started to lose interest in that. Um,
Really?
yeah, we've been making cookies since they were little. Um, they've sort of kind of lost some interest in that. But,
Oh,
it's okay.
yeah. It's kind of sad when that
I
kind of
think
happens.
Rosie's 10, and I think she'd just rather hang out with her friends and do 10-year-old stuff. Ev will still come over and help me make cookies, but she loses interest pretty quickly after the ingredients are mixed. She just really doesn't find putting the cookies on the cookie sheet and watching them bake and take them off and doing it over again. She doesn't find that fascinating. So she'll help me mix up the stuff and then go to the living room and watch TV with Pappy.
I did cookies before I left on this trip. I did cookies
Nice.
with DJ. Yeah, and I basically it was like, here's the stuff. Well, no, I take that back. I was like, go get your, what do you call it, the little step stool that they need to reach everything.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, there's the baking stuff up there, and I'm going to give you a list of what you need to get out because it's about teaching them to read,
Yeah.
math, it's teaching them all the other skills, that they need
Hmm.
besides just making a cookie.
Right.
So, yeah, so his mom was off doing something with Joe, and it was like, all right, come on, you want to make some cookies? And he was like, yeah, we'll make them for Santa. And I'm like, well, maybe we're not going to hold them quite so long for Santa. They're going to be kind of gross by then. Like, let's practice, and then we'll do it again before
There you
Christmas
go.
actually gets here. We'll make him a new batch. How's that? And he was like, yeah, but he's got to have some of these. I'm like, these will be kind of gross by then.
That's only 2 weeks. They'll keep. They'll keep.
It'll be crunchy,
Only
soft,
2 weeks.
kind of gross.
Hmm.
Yeah, anyhow, so he was thrilled to death. I let him do it from start to finish. The only thing I did literally was pop him in the oven and pop him back out.
There you go.
He took him off to try it. Yeah, I was like, nope, this is your project. I'm just here for the supervision. That's it.
But you bring up a
Yeah,
good point. You bring up a good point about maybe giving up some of the stuff that we do. Um, I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet. I'm not sure I'm ready
it's hard.
to give it up. Like I told you a couple weeks
It,
ago, I'm a little worried I'd be forgotten if I didn't do it all.
I got to admit, in so many ways, in some part of the family, we're forgotten. I'm going to tell you that right now, and it hurts when it happens. You know, um, I think the hardest part about the whole thing is just getting up and getting on, just realizing that they're doing what they want to do with their life.
I
It
know.
doesn't involve me, and that's hard. It really is. You know, it almost. Now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth. But what the hell? It's almost like you know. I I don't know whether you would even admit this, but when you get in-laws and outlaws, I guess I'm considered an outlaw.
Now,
You know,
the other
um,
in-laws don't.
because I don't have the same dance that everybody else has.
Does your daughter-in-law like you?
She does,
Okay.
but again, it's a yes. Courtney and I get on like a house on fire.
Okay.
Okay, um, but I don't think I match up, and I don't quite square up for the other half of the family.
Screw 'em.
Yeah, well, it takes a while to get over that, though. When you're put in that, they actually don't know me like they think they know me,
Well, that's
and
probably
so
true.
and so I let them believe what people want to believe. I don't, I'm not forcing myself anywhere that I'm not asked to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you do get to there is a point there where in some families, the invite doesn't come. So again, you just, over the years, you learn that if you don't get the invite, you just deal with it, you
Yeah.
know? But it's hard. I'm going to tell you right now that if that day does come, it's hard. There's a lot of parents out there that'll say that. They'll never tell their kids what they're thinking or feeling, and
I don't.
I don't know whether the kids actually care.
I don't think it's gonna come for me. I don't. But
Well,
I think it's
you're right there. I mean,
I think
yeah,
it's an
you're right there.
irrational fear for me.
You're living in the same town, so it's a little easier.
Right.
I live in the middle of both my kids. We live right in the middle of all of our kids, actually, except the one that actually lives with us.
Yeah.
Steph is 2 hours, 2.5 hours north, and Mike is 2.5 hours south. And Jill's son is 2.5 hours north,
Hmm.
just a bit off from where Steph is. So we are like centralized, you
Yeah.
know. But when, there was a day that we would get the invite, hey, come on down and stay, and it was like, cool. And then that day stopped. I'm not even really sure what happened. It just stopped,
Hmm.
and it was like, wow, okay, what are you going to do for Christmas? Oh, we're doing this, and the in-laws are coming over, and then that was that. We were cut out,
Huh.
and it was like, well, shit. Okay. So I send the gifts down via Amazon Sleigh, and that's it. That's Christmas.
And that's sort of
But
sad.
Steph is coming. Yeah, I
That's
mean, Steph
good.
comes home, and that's not to put anything less on Steph, dear God. Steffi takes a whole week off. She comes trolling down. She sets up all of her computers in her bedroom, and you know, it becomes the grand office for the week. But in the meantime, she always bitches. The chickens are out there crowing at 5 a.m. and the dogs are barking at 3 a.m. It's like, welcome to the country.
Sure, I'm
But
used to that.
you know, I have learned to delegate. It's like I think that the hardest part, delegation wise, I had to start a couple of years ago. I didn't really have a choice. When your health starts saying, you can't do it every day, which you think I get up in the morning. I like to believe I'm Superwoman, and I've been told I am, so I go with it.
There you go.
But we have a farm, and so I get up in the morning and I have this great big list of stuff to do. It's like the length of my arm, and I'm like, all right, where do we start first? But what I've learned to do now is okay, this is what I have to do. This is what I want to do. Let me take off at least 3 of those things that I think I'm going to do today, because it's
Yeah.
never going to happen.
Right.
And somewhere along the line, I need to snap in a nap in there too, just to make sure I can finish the
We were
second half
talking
of the
about that
day.
before we started to record, weren't we?
Yeah,
We need naps
naps are
anymore.
so important.
Naps are
But
fun. Oh, you remember how
I,
the kids used to complain that they didn't want to take a nap? It's like, dude,
yeah,
why? I'll take a nap. I like
well,
naps.
I mean, remember when you were 40? You get the world by the ass. I'm
A
sure.
long time
I
ago.
know I did. I was like, man, I was rocking it, and by the time I was 50, I'm like, I'm not ready to stop. And 2 years ago, I didn't really have. I had to take the whole summer off. I didn't have a choice.
Hmm.
And well, you know, and then I lucked out. It was just a minor health scare, but it could have potentially been pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I learned that summer that I had to delegate. I had to slow down on what I was doing. And if I wanted to see 64 beside not just 54, then I needed to kind of readjust my
Yeah.
expectations of what I was doing. So I
So,
think that we have to learn that somewhere along our creeping up in the years.
and I do believe that there's probably a lot of people out there that are in a similar situation. I mean, so I know he's going to listen. My cousin Charlie, he's my buddy, but he's like a beast. Yes, I just called you a beast. But he's older than me by a few years, and man, he's still kicking ass. I mean, he's very healthy and very strong, and he's 67 years old, healthy and strong and still kicking it. But the thing is, and actually I'm thinking we're going to have somebody on the show here in a couple weeks, maybe right after Christmas, maybe right before Christmas. I'm not sure yet. But Charlie had a liver transplant like 18 years ago, and um, he doesn't take for granted one single minute of one single day.
Right.
It's life is good, and he's just happy to be here. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's my cousin, and God, we've been together forever. We weren't together for a while, but back together now, and that's really awesome. His grandmother and my mom were sisters, so and we hung out. We were just like that, because I don't have any brothers and sisters, and so he was kind of him and his brother and sister were my siblings, if you will, because I didn't have anybody. And those were my Baltimore cousins. So it's kind of awesome to have him back in our lives. And he laughs at John's jokes, so it's good.
Takes the pressure off of you. One less thing you have to do.
Yes. It's a wonderful thing. And
I'm not
but you know,
laughing at you, John. I'm laughing with you.
but you know what's cool about it? So, and I know you got a boatload of siblings, and some of them, yeah, you have a
Too
boatload of
many.
siblings. Anyway,
And give some away. That's okay. I give any of them away. No, I shouldn't say that.
no, you wouldn't. But you know, I have nobody, and that's probably the difference between you and me a little bit is that because I have nobody. I mean, I've got my two kids and my grandkids and John, and there's nobody from my childhood who remembers the same stories other than my cousins. And Charlie is the closest in age to me. I mean, I've got Rosie, another cousin, but she's 13 years older. We didn't, we did nothing together when we were kids, you know.
Yeah, that's a whole different generation
Yeah.
difference.
But Charlie and his brother Mike and his little sister Cindy, the four of us were pretty much, you know, when they would come up in the summer or we'd go down there, you know, it was like a holiday and it was wonderful. And we'd do kid stuff and we would have just, it was just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Yeah, we'd go ride bikes. We'd be out until dark, you know, we'd go places we weren't allowed to go. We'd get caught. Sometimes we wouldn't, you know, it was just fun. It was fun being a kid. But yeah, and then they would leave and then we'd go back to being by myself. And so that's I think that's the part that I hate because when I was a kid, and this isn't meant to be a pity party here, but when I was a kid, I spent many Christmases completely alone. I mean, you know, you'd look on TV and there's the June Cleaver family, you know, and everyone's sitting around their fireplace opening Christmas presents in front of their tree. And I know you had similar situations, Linda. But you know, it's just, ugh, I don't
Yeah, I
want.
didn't have I had family, but it was like you said, it was a big box. It was a big box to carry.
Yeah.
And now, now that we're older, like I talk to my brother now in the Philippines, but I think a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to spill some of this here. Like you said, I had family, but I didn't. And like you, I spent many years by myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Huntingdon, I spent 8 years alone, literally alone. Um, we had this custody fight that didn't allow my kids. Well, it wasn't that they didn't. Yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But anyhow, yeah, like you said, you spend these holidays alone,
Mm-hmm.
and now that we're all of my siblings, we're all older now. We're all, the oldest brother now is hell, he's like 64. What am I, 61? He's 63.
An old guy
And the
like me.
youngest, yeah, and the youngest, I wouldn't talk to if he came up and smacked me in the face. I'd throw him in jail. I talked to one sister and my brother James that's in the Philippines. I went to see him in the Philippines. That was a treat.
Hmm.
And Dawn and I talk now. At least once a month. She'll call, and say hey, and I'm just like hey, um, and James, we telecommute or what do you call that? We do what we're doing right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm too tired to remember. And that's been really sweet to have that kind of communication with some of my siblings,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have that for 50 years.
Yeah.
And the other ones, everything's great by phone and Facebook.
Mm.
I don't give them my address because I don't want you showing up at my house.
Okay. Well, yeah, but because of all those things, I think is the reason, and everyone's got their own reasons. Everyone has their own reasons.
That's right.
But because of some of those reasons is probably the reason that I want to make sure that nobody's alone for Christmas because it sucks. I don't like it. It broke my heart back then. It breaks my heart to think that anyone's alone now. And I just don't want to have it happen. So
And that's where the two of us differ. Seriously.
I know. I
I
know.
can't. Well, yeah, yeah, you're real nice. Let me put it to you this way: if I saw a family really in need, don't get me wrong. I'm not a complete ass. I'm just a little bit of one.
Yes,
Okay,
you
I'm
are. No.
just a little bit of one. It's I will go out of my way to do anything for anybody that really needs help. I really will, but I expect them to help themselves.
Sure.
And so much I'm out in this world so much, and I see so many people that have quit and have given up, or they want to hand it out and won't help themselves.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I'm out here 20 hours a day working. I expect that the person that I'm helping or making an attempt to help but give a hand up to at least put forth 10 minutes of their own effort. And if I don't see somebody doing that, then I'm not doing it. I mean, it's just, I know
And
that
I understand.
that's
And I
60
don't
years
even
of
know that
probably
it's,
bitterness.
and I'm not even sure that it's about that for me. It's more like I just it just breaks my heart to have, like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he said that when he was a kid, he had to spend many of his Christmases all by himself. And
Yeah.
I said, that just breaks my heart. There's no good reason for that. And I said to him, and he's all grown up now, he's 50 or so. I said, you never ever have to spend another Christmas alone. I said, you come to my house, you come to Rick's house, you don't have to be alone. He said, well, I won't be alone now. you know, and that's the thing. You wouldn't be alone now. But
No,
it just,
I remember a Christmas. Let me put this out there for everybody. I remember a Christmas that you were the reason we had Christmas in my house. I remember you going to my apartment because it was a shit show that year. There was no other way to put it. And you went in, give me 1 second. You went in and decorated, took a decorated tree in and decorated my apartment.
yep,
And we had Christmas.
yep.
Because at that point in my life, the ones that we had that I ever had revolved around other people's families.
Hmm.
It didn't revolve around, and I didn't really know how to do a family Christmas. If that sounds, I know that that sounds morbid, but there's a lot of people that will understand what I'm saying there.
Hmm.
And you came in and you taught me how to have holidays, how to have a birthday, how to have fun,
Fun chaser.
how to have fun, how to have fun in life. And there's a lot of people that don't know how to do that.
It's true. How do
Um,
we teach that? How do we teach that, Linda?
um, I think that first off, people need to understand that it's okay to be happy. I came from an environment that you weren't allowed to be happy. You got the shit slapped out of you if you were happy. What do
Hmm.
you have to be happy about? Do you remember the old folks? What do you have to be happy about?
I do.
Jill and I talk about some of the old things that the old people said, that they said to their kids. We laugh about this now, but I never said them to my kids, and I would never dream of saying them to my kids. The stuff that was
Yes,
said to them.
agreed.
But you remember, they would come in and they would be like, "You're in here laughing. What's so funny?"
Mm.
I don't have to tell you. We're having fun.
We were kids
And I
just
think,
having fun.
yeah,
Yep.
you're just kids having fun. We have a whole generation of adults that we laugh, but we're sarcastic because, and I think our younger
I
generation,
blame
the
Bugs
younger
Bunny.
generations, yeah, they don't understand that. They don't understand our sarcasm, and our sarcasm comes from that just just trying to be happy with life and
Hmm.
laughing. Because if we didn't laugh at what was going on, then we were crying,
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
most definitely.
you don't like it, I'll give you something to cry about. Do you remember that one?
I
You know,
do. I
and
do.
so and these are things that we ever said to our kids. We would never dream of saying that to our kids.
Nah.
But it was over the years. It was learning to have fun. It was learning to laugh. It was just learning to say, you know what? Shit went sideways, but that's okay.
And and
Tomorrow's another day.
and you've got a very good point there. And that's what I was kind of alluding to earlier, that there isn't anybody pushing me to do Christmas. Nobody. Nobody except me.
Okay.
Because I have certain expectations for myself for Christmas. Nobody is going to give a shit if I don't make cookies, well, except for maybe John. I'll miss them though. I will miss cookies. No one's going to care if this pile of gifts is smaller than this pile, except me.
Okay.
This is all about me. And I know it. I know it. I know it. And I admit it and I accept it. It's all about the
But are you
expectations
happy doing it? Are you happy doing it?
98% of the time.
Okay. And that's all
Occasionally
that
I get
matters.
tired. And when I get tired, I get grumpy. And then when I get grumpy, I feel bad. And it's
There's
just,
somebody messing around out there.
I get
I'm
tired.
sorry. No, you cannot go out. I'm sorry. As you can see, I'm on location today.
Uh-huh. And there's a dog. Her name's Gracie.
Her
And
name's Gracie.
Loki
Let's think
just
about it.
came in and laid down at my toes.
Let's show everybody Gracie.
Hi, Gracie. Hi,
Can
honey.
you see her?
Hi. You're cute.
Yeah, she's adorable.
She's
I just
cute.
love her to death. She bowled me over when I got to the house to pick her up today.
Aw.
Somebody else had picked her up the last time and took her down. I think it was Jill. And she goes back down in January. She goes back to Florida.
So
So
where's she going now?
she'll head to Long Island tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next day, Saturday.
Oh
So
my.
we'll drop her off. And I have a cat in here too.
Wow.
So I think these two have ridden together before.
That's
There
fun.
you go. There you go. Yeah, it's fun when you get the same crew on. They get
Yeah.
to know each other. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun. But anyhow, as long as Christmas wise, as long as you're doing what's fun, and 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 in your heart and in your head you're good, then have at it. It's just I know that over the last couple of years I've had to learn to taper back what I'm doing. Um, and I'm okay with that. The first time that somebody that my daughter-in-law and my daughter, um, I have like 50 Santas. I started that collection back in Huntington. You remember?
I do.
Remember the white one? I still have it.
That's cool.
I have
Good.
like 50 now.
Wow.
I have one from Covered Gardens and from England, and the place burned down like a year after I got home with it.
Oh
It's Big
my.
Santa. It's huge. Um, I think one from France when I was in France. I've gotten them from all around for my travels.
That's fun.
And yeah, so a couple of years back, the girls were like, let's decorate, and of course they're in their 20s and 30s, and I'm thinking, all right, don't screw with my Santas. But at that point, it was like I stepped back because up until then I'd been doing it. It was like me, and it was my project.
Yeah.
Don't touch my Santas. Don't touch that's mine.
Uh-huh.
And then I got home one year and they were up, and I was like, ah. And in my heart that day, I did a little. It was a little upsetting at first, and then I kind of had to go with the fact that this is the next generation coming up, and at some point I have to step aside and let them do what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a learning experience that I didn't really cherish, to be honest with you. I didn't really want to admit it at the time, and I don't think I actually did. I was like, oh, that looks so nice. And then I wanted to get in there and tweak everything the way I wanted it done.
Well, funny thing, I was thinking about you just last week when I put the Christmas lights up out front, because I can remember my friend Linda giving me unbelievable amounts of hell. Why would you use that fake shit on your porch? Go get some real shit. So you know what I've done? I did a Bob Taylor. This is going back to Bob Taylor.
All right.
I planted holly bushes in front of my porch specifically so I would have holly for my porch at Christmas time. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Bob.
That is
All
so
because of you
and
guys.
it looks good now, doesn't it? It looks good now, doesn't
Oh, it
it?
looks beautiful. But I had
Yeah,
no
see?
holly berries, so they're fake. Holly berries are fake because
Yeah, well,
they
never
weren't
will know.
producing berries. But
Hey,
yeah, it looks pretty freaking nice. That's all
wow.
because of you. And I can still hear Bob Taylor saying, "We don't want to cut your holly until December. Why would you cut it earlier? Cut it in December when the holly bushes are dormant, and then you can use all that holly. That's when you cut your holly bushes."
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
I hear them. I still hear them.
Yeah, but you can make holly wreaths with them now too.
I could,
Yeah,
I
except they you got to wear gloves because
if
they
I
pinch the
chose
hell out of you.
to.
Yeah,
I don't think I still
you,
don't think I choose to do that. I have a bag of pine cones out back that's 2 years old that I was going to make a wreath out of.
well,
It
you spray paint them.
didn't happen.
Oh,
I've got like there's must be 500 in that bag. There's a
oh
lot of
no, you
pine.
don't need that many. Good
Well, I have a
God.
lot of pine cones. I have a lot of
Yeah,
pine trees. So yeah, there was a lot, and so I picked them all up, and I was going to make something from them. Still didn't get it. Still sitting in the
yeah.
bag.
Now you have to get. Yeah, now you have to go get new ones. Those are nasty
Yeah, they're
now.
probably skanky. Yeah,
Yeah, they're janky.
they're probably growing pine trees as we speak.
Take them out in the woods. Repopulate the.
I think I'll plant them out back just to piss the neighbors off.
I was about ready to say, just put them right up against the neighbor you don't like.
I like my neighbors. We're good.
It's like putting bamboo up around your neighbors, to keep, bamboo's like an invasive species. So you just
Yeah.
plant bamboo.
John wanted it for a bit. I've talked him out of that because
But
bamboo is
bamboo,
horrible. Bamboo
I
is
like it, but
horrible.
it would have to be in a right spot for that. Yeah, that's
I could stick it in the alley.
it's all the
Well, there isn't anybody across the street. It's all good. Anyway, yeah, that's I think next week probably what we're going to talk about are the gifts that keep giving forever and ever.
yeah,
How's that sound?
yeah, yeah.
Week before Christmas
There,
and all.
there
We'll
you
talk
go.
about, and I think we're taking Christmas off. So anybody that's listening, I don't think we're going to have a podcast on Christmas. So
No, I don't politely believe that we're going to.
So
No,
we're
we're
going to take a
not.
week off, guys, but we'll have one for New Year's Eve. It'll be all right. Or New Year's Day, rather.
Thanks for working my
Whatever
face.
that is.
And it's
Is it New Year's Day? Yeah, it'll be the day after. Jeez, January 2nd.
okay.
So anyway, yeah, the Christmas week, we will not have an episode, but
No,
next week, I think what we're going to do is the gift that keeps giving and talk about
wow.
live liver transplants. Live liver transplants. Um,
What?
Yeah. So,
All
uh,
right, save that one. That'll be interesting.
yes, and it's I have my next door neighbor. You said neighbor, just reminded me. My
Yeah,
next door neighbor received a live liver transplant 2 years ago, almost three, and saved his life. So it was good. And I was his liver champion. I was a
are
champion.
you serious?
Oh yeah. I didn't give him my liver because I'm too old. But I did all the PR for him. Basically, I
Okay.
put I got everybody to understand and know that what was possible. And I'm not going to tell you the rest of that story because it's a really, really good story and has a really happy ending. And so Mark Morningstar, I believe, will be on our show next week talking about other people who can help when some just to answer the call. There's two different ways that you can help with. You can do a live liver and you can do a live kidney transplants. So
Cool.
just saying, that's the gift that keeps giving, and that's a good thing for Christmas. So I think that's what we'll be
Nice.
doing next week.
All right.
Well,
sounds awesome.
So
We're gonna wrap it for tonight.
Yeah, this has been fun. So, guys, as always, we truly appreciate you listening. Our little audience is starting to grow, and we were in the top 51% on Spotify since we started our show, and so that's pretty cool. We, of course, would like to get to be a higher number than that. So, if you could please leave us a 5-star review, push that follow button on the podcast side. On YouTube, please subscribe and join our group. And we truly appreciate you listening. Send us a chat, send us a comment. That helps.
Just say, hey, I'm here.
That helps the algorithm understand
shout out
what we do. So
out there bothering this van.
Until next week, I think we will be signing off for the night. So, like I said, follow us, like us, share us. We're here for you.
Have a great week.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye.